Thank you very much for that great introduction. It is wonderful to be here today, and I'd like to thank Ascentis for giving me the opportunity to speak with you all today. It's been great working with Ascentis from I've took over this role 11 months ago now, and we work really closely with Ascentis, and they offer our members great service. And also they have, the senior management team have great choice in football teams, so we love working with them. They're one of my favourites. Before I start talking to you all about how we can shape the future workforce, I want to plant a seed with you all about a fact that has been recently brought to my attention via our friends over in Gatsby. Gatsby have recently produced a report that actually showcases that our workforce now in 2024 compared to 2019 has been reduced by 700,000, which is huge. And that's something that we're going to unpick a little bit today. I know I stand between you all for coffee, and I'm going to make you work for that coffee today as well. So, as the introduction says, I'm Julie. I'm from Greater Manchester Learning Provider Network, and I also sit on the Greater Manchester Executive Board of Education and Skills. And we're involved in so many things to make sure that we drive the Mayor Andy Burnham's ambition to make sure that everyone has a better future in Cross and Greater Manchester. We try to support our members through challenge, change and opportunity. The only thing in FE that is consistent is change, and we know we're about to embark on some more changes through the new government that we have in Skills England, with more details coming in January. So I'd also like to introduce you to our Busby Bee. And our Busby Bee is one of the hot presents that's on Santa's lists, and people are going mad for them. So we're going to give you the opportunity to actually win a Busby Bee today. And what we are asking you to do is our Queen of LinkedIn, Clarissa, is going to judge any winning post that tags you in on LinkedIn, our bee, and also the Ascentis conference today. So you've got to lunchtime to put in an award-winning post on LinkedIn and get tagging us. You can use the bee and get some photographs with the bee at break time, and we won't charge you anything for that. So I'm a teacher by trade, and I started off teaching sport many years ago back in Northern Ireland. And on that note, I want you all to stand up. So I know you've been sitting down for a while, so we're going to do some light exercise to get some endorphins raised in the body. I'm joking. No, we're not. What I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to raise your right hand out in front of you. Okay. And I want you to point to where you think north is in the room and hold your hand out there. Where do you think north is within the room? A few more seconds. No cheating. No looking around. Everybody's pointing. And keep your arms where they are. Don't move. You can now open your eyes. As you can see, everybody is pointing in a different direction. And it just sums up our education system. You can take a seat. Thank you very much. I am going to tell you where north is in a few minutes. And the purpose of that exercise really is just to give you a visual of what our education system looks like, and also what it looks like for a learner. It's everywhere, and you can just go around so many roads. There's no clear direction of travel. And what we need to do, Peter's talked about influencers, what shapes our young people's decisions. We need to influence the policy. We need to lobby for campaigning to actually help drive our education forward in the right direction together. And if you pointed over here, you were correct. north. It's right in this corner. So well done to those who got it right. So when we're talking about shaping the future workforce, and we think back to that 700,000 people that are without work from 2019. So 5 years ago, that is all reduced. When you look at the industry paper that the government has just produced and their ambition to build 1.5 million homes over the next few years, we need skilled workers in order to do that. And construction, believe it or not, isn't even on the industry paper as one of the growth sectors. And when you look at nationally, the vacancies in FE of what is missing, 14% of our current vacancies are related to construction. So how can we teach our young people when the construction workers aren't there? So we need to do something about this. And as of today, we're going to get you to do some work. We're going to use that Ascentis and GMLPN to start campaigning for something to take place nationally with our FE recruitment. There's a number of challenges right now, and linking back to what the industry paper is saying, and the skills gaps that we have right across the country. This is pivotal to get this right because it will underpin all your local skills improvement plans that will drive the local economy and also drive the national economy. And we will work, GMLPM will work closely with all of our peers right across the country, and we'll work closely with our national provider as well to make sure that we are banging on the right doors to try and get some structure to our FE sector. Typically, there's about 7 jobs that an FE lecturer is called, from a teacher to a lecturer to a skills coach to a learning coach. And it's very difficult to actually get the research that we need then to streamline this. In Manchester, we are doing things a little bit differently through the combined authority. And we're introducing an MBAC. Some of you may have heard of an MBAC. And it will give our 14-year-olds a different pathway should they wish to go and do more technical education than those that maybe want to go and do the more academic education. But we've got to get the skilled workforce in order to do that. And we know that we've got to drive this quickly in order to let our young people succeed, as well as our adult learners succeed as well. We know that on average in Manchester and nationally, it's taken about 6 months to recruit a teacher, whether that be a teacher in a school or whether that be in an FE setting. And the competition is so high between a college, as you know, and an independent training provider. And again, we need to do something to combat all of these issues. And to link back to what Peter has said, you know, people are voting with their feet. They want to be happy. We know if you're marking at 10 o'clock at night and you have got 50 assignments to mark, you're not really happy. So how can we actually change all of these things? Do we need to rethink how we teach our learners? So I'm going to ask you the questions. So I've got some assistants that are going to come round to your tables. And we're going to ask you in the sector what is working well right now? How are we driving people into our sector to teach our learners of all ages? What's not working well? And also, even better if. So let's imagine there's a bit of blue sky thinking. What could we do if there was a blank canvas, blank checkbook? How can we actually make this better and actually drive people in to want to become an FE teacher? I'll admit, whenever I was going to university, I wanted to be a physio. I did not want to be a teacher. I wanted to be the first female physio for Man United. It was for rehab purposes only, I can assure you. It didn't happen, and I landed through to teaching through default. You know, it was something that I just went, I want to be off in the summer holidays, and that really was my honest decision of coming into the sector. No one told me about the Pro Monitor and the ILPs and all of the marking. I wish they had at the time. So we need to look at the CIAG for people coming into the sector. But we need to think about this. You know, it is such a rewarding job, and a lot of that is brushed under the carpet. And we need to make sure that we're putting that front and center, because we have such an opportunity to shape so many people's lives and have such a positive influence on their lives. But we need to have the tools in the box to allow us to do that. So on that note, we're going to give you some paper. Clarissa, if you could share that around. So think about in your tables, have those discussions. If you don't already know each other, introduce yourselves to each other. We're going to give you some time and then to think about what's working well, what's not working well, and even better if. And then we will collate that. We can share that all with you post-conference of what our findings are and share with you your next steps. So over to my helpers. Thank you. You've got about 15 minutes.
12 minutes.
12 minutes, thank you.
What's working well, what's not working well, and even...
Okay, yes. Okay, everyone. Okay, ready? Welcome back. I can hear the buzz from Busby in the room of all the hard work that has been going on. Just to let you know, we're going to let you keep the sheets on your table till after lunch to give you a little bit of time to add some more meat to the bones. And you might want to think of a few more things when you've got your coffee fix in the next few minutes. And then we will collect them after lunch. And like I said, what we'll do is we'll do a joint effort from Ascentis and GMLP, and we will collate all of this information together. We'll share it with you, and then we will share it with our peers to make sure that we are banging on those doors to grab some people's attention in Downing Street to make sure that we are getting this right for our future generations and plugging the skills gaps nationally. And believe me, there is a lot to fill. And just to sort of plant a few more seeds with you before you go on your coffee, we do need to think about the different types of learners that we are getting through our doors now. A young 16-year-old now and 18-year-old is very different to maybe whenever I was that, it was not that long ago, but whenever I was that age, they're very, very different. The emotional intelligence is very different. The resilience is very different. And what we need to do with that information is we need to then upskill our SMTs, the managers that are dealing with these, because they don't maybe like conflict. They don't like conflict resolution. So what do we do to help those? We need to educate our senior leaders as well on how we make sure that they're adapting to this new generation of learners that are entering our doors. But there's a lot more work to do. We can't do it on our own. We need everybody to help us, and the work that you've done today to earn your coffee will allow us then to actually help knock on those doors and actually shape the future workforce of generations to come. Thank you so much for having me today, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.